hear you on the pod.
I need somebody to know.
Wait, because you ran around.
Nick, you are old enough. You are young enough to pick yourself up.
You're long enough to pick yourself up.
You're young enough to pick yourself up. You can do it yourself.
Man, I'm long enough to pick myself up. Look, you guys got your own little stand over there.
Nick, if my mom could pick herself up off the floor without using her arms, you could pick yourself.
Your mom can do that because she's a woman. There's multiple things that women can do that we can't.
47.
What, stand up without your arms?
Yeah,
I can do
like
that.
sitting on the floor.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Just
she's
cross your legs.
47. You can pick yourself up out of this.
I can do that. Sit, like, was it crisscross applesauce?
Cross your legs.
Yeah, then push yourself up. I can do that.
Ready?
No, I'm
Nick-
saying
Nick's
you
gonna
can't
do it.
because you're young.
Ready? Nick's getting himself out of jail.
And then
Yep.
over here.
Man, what an athlete.
What? Athlete?
What?
He's an athlete.
What?
What?
Just look at you. All
Tying my shoe. I gotta finish.
right, so now we're tying your shoe.
Yeah, I gotta tie my shoe.
Good call.
Nick, why'd you get back in the?
I don't know.
Nick,
Look, if you want them up
man.
so bad, get them
What
up.
are we doing?
Okay, let's just start without him.
I'll make it.
Hey, guess what?
Minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Hey! Welcome to this week's episode of Movement Monday podcast. My name is Kurt. Welcome to episode 18 of the pod where we are struggling.
Hey,
Hi.
adults.
I'm
Right, man, we can vote where we struggle with microphone stands tonight. But we're making it work.
Yeah.
no,
It's-
only microphone stand.
We're struggling on some other things tonight. Is this real talk now?
Especially this person next to me.
I'm next to you, bro. What are you talking
No.
about?
To the right.
Your right or my right? It's right.
Nathan's right.
Oh, okay, cool. Nate. Hey, so we're all excited. To my right, Mr. Microphone Stand himself is
Nathan.
Nathaniel, the one and only. Hey, Nick, what's good? Say what's good into a microphone.
What's good?
Not into a microphone, but that's all right, man.
What's good?
There you go. What's your name again? I forget.
Nick.
All right, good job.
Nick.
Are you laughing
Yeah,
at
it's
me?
My friend just sent me a really funny picture. You'd like it. But I am Caleb.
Sweet. What's up, Caleb? And as always, next to Caleb is the one and only.
Hello.
King George III.
That makes a lot of sense. Great Star Wars. All the fun. Hey, so we're all excited. If you are a first-time listener or one of our excuse me, one of our 12 subscribers, and enjoy listening to. Hey man, go for it. And enjoy listening to our podcast. This is episode 18. We're all excited about it. Trying to think of something cool to do for like episode 20. I was thinking about it today. I was like, man.
Kurt, we should start episode 21. Start the shot glass collection.
Or like I thought like episode 20
Episode 20.
be like
live.
yeah, I thought it would be fun to do like a video and we're all just sitting here
Go live
chatting like
with it.
yeah, live on YouTube. Just go for it. We set up the camera. We're all sitting here just chatting away and make it really fun. So
21. We need to start that shot glass collection, Kurt.
I always think like I find like the shot glass. Excuse me.
Because like we're not
shot-
gonna drink. We're not gonna drink anything down here.
Right.
We're not drinking. Like you don't drink. Caleb doesn't drink.
Who
We're
else
not old enough to drink.
Who else wants that Bucky's shot glass thing?
Me.
But it's just kind of funny. Like if we started a shot glass collection on a youth ministry podcast in a youth ministry room. We're just getting a whole bunch of looks now.
It was like,
Hey, so what do you got that's bringing kids in? Like shot glasses?
Yes.
Wait, what? What are you guys shooting? Oh, there you go. Yeah, Caleb's got his microphone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Caleb. Hey, there you go, dude. You got your own mic.
Nope, the up.
What?
Nathan, we're not doing ASMR. If we're doing Nathan, if we're doing ASMR,
Not worth
we're doing
repeating.
the fun one where we hit the microphone with frying pans.
Yeah, let's not hit any of the microphones with frying pans.
Why not?
But that's
Or-
the fun ASMR.
No, because then we're gonna break microphones, and then Emily's gonna come in and break your guys' faces. She's
She's
like,
not allowed to break my
Josh's?
face.
I don't know. Could be. Emily, if you're listening, we're excited to see you in a couple of weeks. Maybe jump back on the pod. It'd be super fun. But hey, man, this is a gray shirt only podcast tonight.
I guess.
That was pretty funny.
Nathan,
I'm in gray. Nathan's in gray.
Nathan's a dark gray.
Caleb's in a gray sweatshirt. Nick's in gray. I'm in black and gray, actually. Josh is in black and gray. Nick's in black and gray. Man, didn't even plan it.
Caleb's not black.
That is, Caleb is in black shoes, which is pretty sick.
Yeah, well,
I'm in
So-
black and gray.
the shoes.
All the fun there.
Are shoes
Super awesome.
Part of clothes.
No, shoes are feet
clothes?
accessories.
Do what?
Shoes are
Are
accessories.
Shoes are accessories?
Are
Yeah.
shoes clothes?
Shoes are accessories. Shoes are not clothes. Shoes are footwear and nothing else.
What's footwear?
Accessories.
What do clothes do? They cover you. What do shoes
But would
do?
some of my clothing
Protect
be
your feet.
accessories though?
Okay, clothes are what you like. Cloth.
Clothes are what you
clothes.
wear.
But what about like
No.
canvas shoes? My shoes are made of canvas.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're saying that, then earrings are clothes, because you wear earrings.
No, that's an accessory.
Yeah.
Your shoes are an accessory. It's
Shoes
a-
are accessories.
No.
Shoes
I
are
feel
not
like
clothes.
I feel like shoes are. Well, you can't say shoes are a necessity because
They're not a necessity.
in reality they are, because if you walk around everywhere with no
I mean-
shoes on and you get cuts and everything else, it's a bad deal.
Yeah,
So
but that's
you guys
the trade-off.
But
have
that's
you
how it
guys
was
ever gone like a
intended.
full day without wearing shoes, like
Yeah.
on purpose, like
Yeah.
walked around all day, like
Yeah.
outside of your house,
Yeah.
like went to like
Can I grab that paint chip from you?
sure can. It's good. Yeah, you guys keep chatting.
Shoes are
Yeah.
shoes are not
You guys keep
clothes.
chatting about shoes.
Shoes are as much
Shoes
as
are not
clothes.
accessories.
Shoes are accessories.
We will
Shoes
be
are as
back
close.
after this commercial break.
Shoes are as much clothes as watches are clothes.
What do you want us to do? Have a barefoot Wednesday?
No, but shoes are accessories.
You know what?
That had to happen.
It didn't have to happen.
It did.
I think you're incorrect and wrong. Nathan.
Not Nick.
I know
Not
you're not
Nick.
Nick. But
Technically, clothing in general never had to happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What?
okay, I will say
See,
that
shoes weren't
there-
intended.
there are some things that I say I think that's. I mean,
I'm
Garden of
referring
Eden.
to Adam and Eve.
Well,
I'm
yeah.
not referring to.
Yeah.
I'm not telling people to go around naked.
No, I know, but if we out of the garden,
Mhm.
clothes had to happen. In the garden, they didn't.
There is a point I've always wondered at. The 4 seasons were a thing at the beginning before the fall. So
How
I'm wondering what.
How would they be alive would not get frostbite?
Right.
Maybe they were in like Hawaii area climate.
I'm not sure where exactly they.
The Middle East.
Oh, it's still cold.
Is that?
I know, but I'm saying the climate would probably not be that type. Probably more Hawaii because Hawaii doesn't get cold.
And you just said that the Middle East doesn't get cold?
I said the Middle East does.
Deserts get chilly at night.
Yeah.
But they're not like, you're not gonna see any snow.
Yeah.
Then again, there's a mention of a snowy day in the book of Samuel where I think the guy's name was Benaiah, who was one of David's mighty men, who killed a lion. Doesn't say why he killed the lion, but he did.
They
And
bring
he killed it on a snowy day.
Not Kurt, like, I'll take a seat. Just sit around.
So Kurt was our icebreaker.
Speaking of cold, what's the icebreaker?
Yeah, I'm so glad it's finally cold outside because it has been so warm, and I'm just not a fan of the warm. Cold is so much better. And the only thing that's bad with cold, coming with cold, is daylight savings time. It's just because I want it to be dark in the morning, and I want it to be bright at 5. It shouldn't be dark at 5. It just is wrong.
I like winter.
Yeah.
Especially January.
I love winter, but like, I don't want it to be bright outside at 7:30 in the morning.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't really like the cold weather. I like,
Oh no, cold weather is the best.
like, summertime's fun because you get to swim and stuff, but like when it's like cold and stuff and you get to like, yeah. But
That's
it's
why I'm an advocate. That's why
It's
I'm kind of
bright
happy
at 5
that
o'clock
we're
in the morning.
not falling back
Good.
anymore. We're just springing forward, and that's it. I think that's just a Georgia thing, if I recall correctly. This may just be a complete lie, but from what I've heard, because there's a law a while ago that was I think it was like Sunlight Savings Act or something, where they just stopped daylight savings time on the spring forward after that. Which I mean, I just feel like that one is more natural.
Yeah.
Oh, say
can
you see?
Yeah, but that law.
By the
Why are you singing?
desert
But that law got
light.
it's like stuck in the House or something like that. But a Georgia senator, I think, passed a law that passed it just for Georgia. So it's a Georgia law, I think. So we're not gonna fall back after we spring forward
There's no
in
Florida.
like May. No, spring. When's spring forward? Like March. I think it's like March.
Spring forward.
When's our next leap year?
What?
I don't know.
You know what I don't like?
What?
How we're now getting out of school like less than a week before Christmas.
Okay. You get more summertime.
I hate that the days are longer. And like when you look at the
Nothing
clock
else
and you
changes.
see
We
that
just
it's
get
like
more days.
2:40,
You'd never have more school days.
it would usually be 3:40.
That's never a thing. You have 180 school days,
And that just makes
that's
you feel even tired.
it. Days in a semester.
No, it's a longer Thanksgiving, I think.
Yeah.
But
It's a longer Thanksgiving, because where I used to live, they had like 2
Where
weeks.
did you used to live, John?
Conyers.
Where's
Conyers,
that?
Georgia. It's in that area. But they
now he's
had
up here in Wisconsin.
they had insanely
Wisconsin.
long they had insanely long breaks. So we'd have like a 2-week long Thanksgiving break. But our summer was so short that we got back in July. We got back to school in July. Okay, Kurt.
Hey
Now-
man, I missed it. What's up?
Icebreaker. What's our icebreaker?
Icebreaker. What did you guys talk about while I was gone? You don't have to repeat anything,
Oh,
but
just daylight savings time being
Yeah,
bad.
daylight savings
Nick
time.
and Nathan sang the national anthem.
We
For real?
finish.
You guys like
Every
that?
time we
Yeah,
talk about
they
something
sang into the
ridiculous,
mic.
I'm jumping in the beat bag.
wonderful.
Well, that's
Cool.
a knee slapper.
But I like winter in January and February because you know, November and December are hunting season, and I can't go on my nighttime hikes during hunting season.
Without wearing some serious orange.
Yeah,
Never seen you in orange, so
I don't mind orange. I just don't.
just don't want to get shot at.
Yeah, I just don't want to.
Well,
Don't want to get shot.
then really
Are we talking about University of Tennessee?
our
No.
like winter season where we are really doesn't start till January, February anyways.
Yeah.
So like it starts to get cold maybe in December, or we have fake fall, and then it actually like jumps in, and it's like we'll go to a ski trip in January because it's finally cold. It's actually cold enough to snow and everything that way, so it's cool.
Something else we did was he said he used to live in Wisconsin, but now, or no, he used to live in Georgia, but now he lives in Wisconsin.
No.
We're up in Wisconsin right now.
We are?
We moved.
When did you move
When
this
did
building?
when did we move?
When did this building move? From
What part of
Kent-
Wisconsin?
The place with all cheese factories. There is a place.
When did we move from Kentucky?
Has anyone ever lived in Kentucky besides me?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't eat you or see.
All right, there you go.
I've never lived anywhere but here.
I've
I was
gone
about to
through
say I've always
Virginia.
lived in Georgia.
I've gone through
There you
Panhandle.
So, icebreaker tonight. As I was thinking about it, coming down the stairs, I had multiple ones thinking about it. But we went dude trip this past Saturday.
Nathan, why don't you come?
He was in the show. He's in parade.
Skip it.
Veterans Day, man, it's a
Yeah,
big deal.
let me skip parade.
For-
And then let me skip playoffs game,
Yeah.
which was about 3 hours away by bus.
You were sick. You were sick of the band.
Nah. Hey man, we missed it. It was all cool, but we went to. We missed you. That was overall general.
I'm
Why
so
do you
sorry,
hit
Kurt.
him?
Dude,
Nathan threw at me
Dude,
and I
stop
deflected
throwing
it.
stuff at me to where I'm
I
getting hit.
didn't
This is like
I didn't mean to hit you. I
Stop
just
Kurt
blocked it.
abuse.
it's like 17 minutes into
Stop
the whole
Kurt
thing, and I've
abuse.
gotten hit already. Gracious. Anyways,
Stop hurt abuse.
that's right. I already got playing hot potato pre-show, and I get
Because
I get hit.
someone, was launching them,
I wasn't launching them. That's just how I throw.
A little league pitch. A little.
Josh is trying out for the majors next week
I am not.
in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
No.
The Wisconsin googly eyes.
That's what they're called.
I don't know.
Ranks up there with Savannah Bananas.
Girl, the Savannah
So-
bananas are bananas. Are bonkers.
Here's
All
how
the
he
fun.
was.
Stop throwing.
No, you can't see him if you're not live. Anyways, so icebreaker tonight because we went to a super cool amusement park up in Sevierville, Tennessee.
I wonder where.
No,
Yeah,
it's-
we'll just
Kurt,
let-
Kurt, it's down in now because we're in Wisconsin.
Anyways, I'm not lying on the podcast because we're in the buckle of the Bible Belt, which is
Also
definitely not
Tuesday.
Wisconsin.
It's also Tuesday.
Dude,
It might come
if
out
it
on
was
Tuesday.
Tuesday, we're all late,
Kurt,
and I'm directly south of an idiot. So,
Who yourself?
yes, me.
it's Movement Monday, but podcast doesn't come out until a Friday.
Correct.
Movement Friday. It's Movement Friday.
It normally doesn't get uploaded till Tuesday.
Kurt, you should just upload it
So all the fun things.
on a Monday.
Yeah,
It
just
ta-
like
it takes a while to
Yeah, no, I know. Skip a week and then upload it on Monday.
takes
so
a
like
while
week
to
after.
upload and all the stuff there. So, anyways, icebreaker tonight. What's the scariest roller coaster you've ever been on?
Rock and roller coaster at Universal.
Heck. Oh, that's not Rock and Roller Coaster. Rock and Roller Coaster's at Disney. It's called Rip Ride Rocket.
Whatever the heck it's called at Universal.
Yeah,
that thing goes,
I was about to say that's
that thing
Rock-
goes straight up, and that thing
Like
is
terrifying.
awful.
that's the
Yeah,
best.
you never go upside down.
That's
on
the best ride. Yes, No,
No, you
No, you
because
don't.
it always hurts.
You just literally
Yeah.
just go straight
When you-
up, and those straps are so loose that I genuinely thought I was gonna die.
Like when you
Yeah.
literally when you get to the
I-
top
I
of the
am,
loop, you
like-
do a corkscrew.
Yeah, wherever
Once
it
I
goes
get
around,
into a ride, I'm never nervous about
And then
falling
in the
out.
middle of the ride, you're
But
literally
like
sideways.
genuinely, that one I was
You feel
nervous
like
the
you're
entire.
going down.
That is what really started my fear of falling on a roller coasters because that strap was so loose that I swore I would have fallen out. Like,
But
I'm not that bad of a fear. It's just I get paranoid in mines now.
it is fun, but like it's like pretty scary.
All right. So, what is it? Rip, ride, rocket.
Yeah,
what is
Rip
it?
Ride Rocket. at-
Whip?
Rip
Rip.
Ride.
Rip.
R.I.P.
Rip Ride Rocket.
R.I.P. Rip,
Although
ride,
the cool
rocket.
thing about it, you choose your music.
Oh yeah.
I tried to
Before
I
you
tried to
go-
choose
there's, like-
good music and they played some random crap that I had no idea.
Yeah, because you try to get.
I tried
You
to
have
play
to be
Michael
fast.
Jackson. I tried to play Michael Jackson.
I
It's
play
like, no.
get dishes. That's what I did. But you can play pop, country. What is it?
You.
Hip hop or something? I forget. But pop. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So, Scary Roller Coasters. That's Josh. Rip, ride, rocket.
Rip Ride
Yes.
Rocket for me too.
For you, Trace. Really, Caleb? What do you got, man?
Okay,
What do you think?
It's because the uphill thing is you are going up straight. There's no like, and it's like straight for a
Bro.
while.
When you ride it at night, it's the
Oh my
best
word,
because
it looks so
when you're going straight up, it's like you're going up into space. It's awesome. Like and there's like lights on and stuff, and it makes it even
Speaking-
cooler.
Sweet.
It's
I
like
love
awesome.
Mission Space.
Mission space is fun. It's just
Not a roller coaster.
Have you
I know, but
More
I love that
it's
ride.
like that one makes me sick.
You know
Well,
what you
depending
should
on which one I'm doing. makes
All
me
right.
sick.
Guess what? Caleb's talking.
This isn't really a roller coaster, because well, I guess the scariest roller coaster I've ever been on was, I don't remember where this was, but it was something about dinosaurs. It was a slow one, but it was really loud, and I really don't like loud
Oh,
noises.
is it at Universal?
Probably.
It's the Jurassic boat ride. It's like
Maybe.
the Jurassic World, but you go on the boat, and then before you drop down that big old thing, there's a T-Rex that comes down. What is that called?
Wait, that's
Isn't it
That's
just-
what he's. It's
that's
at,
at
no, that's at Universal.
That's at Universal.
It's a water ride.
Yeah.
Go
because-
down.
That
But
is a
there's
roller
like a-
coaster.
there's like
Yeah,
a
maybe.
This is a
non-water.
water ride.
There's a non-water one that's just like that.
Oh
Like a-
yeah, it's
But
it's the
just
same
dinosaur.
thing. But
Yeah, it's at this.
Yeah.
But the
Rest in peace, though.
Scariest
Velociraptor.
ride,
Velocicoaster. That's the best one.
scariest ride I've been on was not a roller coaster. It was something that spun, where we had these individual seats and they sat two in a seat.
Guardians.
No.
It was.
Shush.
This was when I was like maybe 10 or younger, so it was a long time ago. But my brother and I rode in it, and it had no seat belts. It kept you in the seat purely by like centripetal force.
Oh
Gravity?
gosh.
Yep. And I was terrified of falling.
How many deaths have happened there?
Is it a fair ride?
Deaths have happened there.
Spinning
I
like
I
this
mean-
and you're just like pushed back.
I don't remember,
Oh,
but
terrifying.
it was at night, and I just remember riding it with my brother.
Anyone
It's-
else?
It's terrifying.
You know what? Okay, you brought this up earlier, but space. I don't know why. It's popped in my head. You know what movie I challenge you guys to watch like late at night? This isn't scary.
What?
2001. Try to watch that movie late at night, like tired.
Like
and not fall
2001
asleep.
Space Odyssey?
Yep. Try to watch that entire movie without even trying to doze off.
So
It's really hard.
Nah.
so like
I got other things.
Off of what Caleb said,
anyone else feel like they're gonna fall out on the big drop on what used to be Splash Mountain?
I never went in Splash
yes.
Nope.
Mountain.
I've
Okay.
never
There's
had a
no
fear.
seatbelts.
I've
And you go right down that.
It's not that far of an angle when you actually start to think about it. Not as
I know, but
but you're not gonna
looks like
fall out.
Yeah, I went on that one
I've
twice and didn't
never had a
ever
fear of
go on it again.
of falling out of roller coasters. My best friend, though, I grew up going to an amusement park in Ohio called Cedar Point. It's roller coaster capital of the world. It's super awesome. The whole park is on an island, and it's all these roller coasters. But they had one that they've had to modify and all sorts of stuff, and it's getting relaunched. But it's called Top Thrill Dragster. It was a launch roller coaster, and you would get shot out of it, and you'd go like 0 to 80 in like 3 seconds, and it shoots you up this
Oh,
thing.
what's it called?
Top Thrill Dragster, and you go all the way over, and then you twirl on the other side of it and get shot down. The whole ride itself is 30 seconds, and by the end of it, you go like 120 miles an hour. I've only done it twice. It's outrageous.
Kingda Ka. That's what it's called.
No, it's called Top Thrill Dragster in Cedar
What did
Point.
you say this was?
I said it was
It-
the Kingda Ka.
It's not what it's called, Nicholas.
Solid. Somebody's
In Cedar Point, Ohio.
Oh,
1825 trip one day.
yeah, I would love to do that.
Dude, we'd have a blast. It'd be so much fun. So, maybe youth trip. It'd be fun. But, it'd be fun. But it's really cool. But it's just terrifying because you get launched and you go up, and sometimes it doesn't make it all the way up. And then you get shot back down, and then you get launched again. So, crazy. So they're retheming it and doing it so where you go the other way, and then you get launched, and you go another, and then you do it again. But all those things. So that's super terrifying, and I've always liked roller coasters. I'm not big on like heights and like I don't do skyscrapers. I get vertigo, which means like it feels like everything's moving, and then I'm gonna fall off of stuff. So I do have a fear of falling on like any surface. Like I could be sitting in this chair and someone come and push me. Don't, by the way. But pushing me and I fall over. It just kind of terrifies me. So, anyways, like that. But cool icebreaker. But jumping into tonight's topic, how have you guys seen your faith lived out in conversations that you have with people? Maybe with your friends or people you've met or people on your team or random things. And why I ask this, and here's the whole premise behind our pod tonight is I had an exterminator come to my house today, and we were talking about stuff and checked through my house. We were talking outside, and we started talking about how God has just provided everything, and it started jumping into even deeper stuff of how He got plugged into church, where I go to church, and what I do for the church, or what I do at the church, and it ended up being this 45-minute conversation that was completely organized by God. And I was like, we gotta talk about this, because our conversations with people, we might think, oh, nothing's gonna come out of this. This guy's gonna leave, or our hangout's gonna end, and whatever. But I didn't even see this conversation going anywhere. It was like, hey man, thanks for coming, appreciate it, have a good one. Like 45 minutes later, we're still sitting in my driveway talking about Jesus, and it was awesome. So how have you seen conversations in your life that you've seen Jesus move in? What do you got?
So I was at like after church, like we go to my nana's and she always cooks and we always eat.
Cool.
And while we were sitting there, they asked how me running the tech booth did, and I said good, and I talked about how good the songs were, and they started talking about all the Christian songs that they liked, and
There
then
you go.
they started talking about stuff about about church and how what they liked about it and stuff, and like I talked about like the tech booth, and it was like yeah.
There you go. So, conversation that has spiraled over into like from your table, like post church, hang out, and those are great. I'm gonna sneeze right on the pod. Oh, awesome! All right, anybody else? What else we got? And dude, and those, I love those conversations because I talk to my kids, Thursday morning after church, or even like Sunday morning after, like, when they go to Sunday school. Like, what did you guys learn this morning? Who'd you talk about in the Bible? What's something interesting about it? And it's always cool because sometimes I get different answers. I'm like, you guys were in the same class. How do you guys get to talk about multiple different things? Like, yeah, we talked about this character today. I'm like, no, we didn't. We talked about the guy who didn't eat meat. It's like, Daniel? Like, no, the guy had long hair. It's like, well, that's a lot of people. They probably all had long hair. But then it all wraps back around to being about Daniel, which is really funny. But it's just cool. But those are great conversations to have. So, anybody else? What are some conversations you've had where you've been like, dude, Jesus was so in the middle of this?
It wasn't really a conversation that I had, but one that, like, I was listening to and, like, stuff.
What was it about? Do share.
When we went on the mission trip
Cool.
and you talked to the kids at that playground.
Oh, nice. Like a vacation Bible school?
Yeah.
Very cool. I like doing that. It's always fun.
You know what I have? Our hour-long conversation about dinosaurs and dragons. Oh.
Saturday morning at 8
Saturday
o'clock
morning at 8 o'clock.
on I-75 heading to Dollywood.
Yep, our hour-long conversation about dragons and dinosaurs in the Bible.
But how cool was that conversation?
It was real cool. Caleb, what's your opinion of that conversation?
Yeah, I thought it was a good one. Yeah, I thought I lost it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. It wasn't your fault. It was there and it was gone really quickly.
Josh, you gotta hold your microphone still. Because I can hear it going.
No, I know. I was doing this.
Shot! We can all hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, doing that. Sounds like... Oh, man. Now that I told you to stop, you're going to keep doing it. You great human being.
I know, right?
Caleb, how about you, man? You and I have had some great conversations, but what are some ones that... And I know you've had great conversations with other people and completely random conversations with people, too.
Yeah.
You could, I know you're writing a book, but you could probably write a book on the conversations you've had with people that have just been like, hey, I had no idea who this person was. And
Yeah, believe it or not, that's what's on my mind. And I won't get too specific with it. But recently, I had an encounter. I won't tell. It's probably something I need to talk about after the pod, so I'll just
Sweet.
talk about something else. But yeah, I've found that approaching somebody with the intention just to love them and with the love of Jesus, which is scary a lot of times.
yeah,
Especially if you don't know the person. It often leads to conversation.
yeah,
And I often find I don't make conversation all that well, so I just have to come out and ask the awkward question of, can I pray with you? And people are usually taken aback by it.
right.
Yeah. they usually, I'll ask them the question, and if they're like, what? Because nobody's expecting that.
Right? And I think that's what's super funny. You're like, sure.
Yeah, it's even harder to ask the second time. Because I
They're like-
barely got it out the first time.
Yep. That's really funny. It's like, hey, can I pray with you? What? Can I pray with you? And they have to decide right then and there. It's always super funny.
I found talking to them a bit first and then asking the question is better. But I'm pretty lousy at starting a conversation. So if they don't feel like talking, then that's just
Yeah, and then I was thinking back, and then I came back to the church. I left from. I thought I would be gone maybe like 45 minutes. Right? It's like, hey, I'll be right back. Got to run to my house. Be back shortly. And then I show up 2 hours later, which took the guy about an hour to go through everything and scope out my house, and everything was cool. But then, 45 plus minutes later, and by the time I really got back to the church, I was telling him, it's like, whoa, you came back. I was like, yeah, didn't think I'd be gone that long, but man, had an incredible conversation, and one of our staff members today was really funny. And, because the guy told me where he's going to church, and he wants to get baptized and get his family in church, and just feels super connected, just like welcomed at the church. And, he had asked, he's been going there since January, and one of the guys asked, he asked one of the campus pastors, he's like, hey, how do I, Sunday morning, what do I, can I wear whatever, what's the dress code? He's like, dude, come in whatever you want. Like, come as you are. It's we want you just to come to church. It's not a matter of what you have on the outside. God wants to speak to the inside. And, my dad was a huge advocate for that when we started going to church as a kid. One of the guys at church told him, it's like, hey, don't you think you ought to dress up and look nice? And my dad was like,
You know what's funny?
dude.
If dress code mattered, then none of us are getting it right, because the church started when people were wearing tunics.
Right? I was like, and I told the guy today, he's like, man, Jesus didn't wear like fancy clothes going to church. I'm like, yeah, going to synagogue? No. Jesus probably had like one outfit. Maybe two. I was like, slip the thing over.
Yeah, the only people who were wearing specific uniforms to go to church were the people who opposed Jesus. So there's that.
So it's just really funny, and again, great conversation about stuff. But yeah, it's just like, and just how he got connected into that church just by being welcomed. He's like, hey, you don't have to dress up to fit in. We want you just to come and just be a part of it. And I was like, man, I preached this series a couple weeks ago about how we are all uniquely created with different gifts and different abilities, but we all come together and we work as a unit. I was like, dude, that's it. Like, you can come. He's like, man, I wore shorts and flip-flops and, a fishing shirt and my hat. I was like, dude, and you walked right in and felt great? He's like, yes. Had a cup of coffee and had such a great time at church. I'm like, there you go. He's like, I want to go, like, get plugged into a group, and again, wanting to get my family in. I was like, that's it, man. Like, that's what it's all about. It's not a matter of us coming to look good. Like, it's us coming to be, to be filled with God's word and to grow and to be in community with other believers and maybe even some seekers, and doubters and anything else, and the people that, came in and having the worst morning ever, but then other people having like the best morning ever. And just to be so stoked to be in the same building and to grow closer, and then to worship together, to hear teaching, and then to go home and have conversations like what Nick talked about. It's like, man, we talked about, you know, how are things in the tech team, because this is basically a youth ministry tech team podcast. You know, how are things going? Like, oh man, super awesome, as Nick whacks his head on the floor. If you guys heard that was Nick, that was his nog. He's great. Right in the middle of my rant, Nick. I was on a roll, man, and you had to whack your nog. And that too. So just how important how important those conversations are. But then on the other side of this, sometimes our conversations, maybe we cut too short, and we think, you know, hey man, I gotta go, I gotta do this, and what would that conversation have led to if it kept going? And some of the best conversations I've had have been over coffee, or shoot, today in my driveway, that there wasn't a time frame on it, where it was just able to talk and to grow into that, versus like, hey, I got about 20 minutes. On that, you're trying to cram so much stuff into a tiny conversation, where you can have a conversation with somebody and there's no time frame, and it ends up being this incredible talk where you have seen God move through the entire conversation, and it's rad.
So something that the Lord convicted me on a few years ago, and convicted doesn't just mean that you've done something wrong and God is, you know, telling you you've done something wrong. It's literally being convinced.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is correction, but sometimes it can be a call higher. Like, maybe we can improve in an area, and God is convicting us of that.
Nice.
So, like I said, I used to do these little prayers. Like, I would walk up to somebody and be like, hey, can I pray for you? And it would be really awkward. And they would sometimes say no, sometimes say yeah. And, you know, we'd pray, and then I'd walk away. But he told me, like, you're praying for them, but you're not loving them. And so that was one thing that I kind of had to get used to, was being able to sit with somebody and have a conversation, or at least listen to them talk.
Yeah.
And, you know, be present with them rather than just doing what I call a drive-by prayer.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. But yeah, and again, like,
And sometimes we don't even end up praying, but that person needed somebody to listen to them.
yeah. And sometimes, like, I mean, even today, I don't think that was the case. I think our conversation just went right into talking about Jesus, which is awesome. But then, like, sitting down and listening and building the conversation to where it just opens up the door for the Holy Spirit just to move on in, and those are awesome. And I think we were talking yesterday in social club, like the difference between like listening and hearing. Like, listening takes intentionality, where hearing, we can hear what's going on over here. This is why we did not live tonight. You okay? You doing great? Yeah.
What happened?
He popped my pinky.
Oh, popped your pinky.
Oh my goodness. My life flashed before my eyes.
You popped your pinky.
Yeah, my pinky's my sensitive finger.
I don't even want to
Oh.
say that out loud. Sounds so weird to say that, so I'm just not. And if that didn't get picked up, that's okay. Nick, sorry about your finger, about your small phalange there. But again, listening versus hearing, where it takes time. We have to process. We got to focus on listening. Where hearing, we're taking in the noise around us, maybe not fully attentive of anything that way. And those are really like where listening takes place. When those are actually happening, conversations get deeper and understanding happens, and we're able to ask good questions, and questions are asked of us, and it just kind of continues to progress from there. And I think those are really rad. So but yeah, that's what, again, Saturday, going to Dollywood, Josh, Caleb, and I talked about creation and dinosaurs and dragons, and how that was a deal, whether they were on the boat or off the boat, and these medieval kings had these animals that they called dragons, but were they really dinosaurs, and all this stuff, and it kept going from there. And then we got into Abraham, and then we got into deeper talk, and they kind of jumped back in on our way home. So again, just these fun van driveway coffee shops, they're awesome. So as we close out tonight, don't be quick to end a conversation, or slow to hear, or even quick to hear. Actually, be slow to be quick to listen, and take time, and be present with that person, and ask questions, and show them that you genuinely care, and find connective points in the conversation. I think that's super awesome, and it builds relationships, and invite God into the conversation. That's what's super awesome. We went all around today. Thanks, buddy. All around today, and it's always so funny, because then I told our staff, I was like, yeah, I came, 2 hours later I came back. I was like, in reality, I was still working, because in my house I was talking about Jesus. They're like, Kurt, that's the best excuse ever. I was like, but I was telling this guy all about Jesus, and we talked about, TV shows and Bible studies and everything else. But again, be present in these conversations. Don't end them so quick. But if they do have to end quick, do a follow-up and check in and tell that person how important those conversations meant. And I think that's super awesome. So quick to listen, man. And don't take... Nice. Don't cut them too short. They're super cool. All right, how can we pray?
That was.
Who's that?
Who's that?
Okay, back to the pod after the cut.
He says specific person, and yes.
Anyways, prayer request. What else we got? What?
I did not mean to.
There's we both have a game Thursday.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Basketball game Thursday.
You cheerleader?
He's the manager, dude. He's in charge of your team.
Jace made the team
No,
too.
he's not in the same team.
This
But he is.
this person
Hey,
made the team.
Kurt, they're not in the same team.
What do you mean you're not the same? Oh, yeah, dude. You guys go to different schools.
You gotta please come to that game, Kurt.
Please.
You can sit with me. and
Totally
you can-
forgot you guys were different schools.
That's really funny. There he goes. Someone's going to break the wall.
Something was funny. So he.
Oh yeah, so you're the manager.
Booyah, 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 ooh,
Nick's playing.
wah,
All right, so basketball game Thursday.
Hey, you can sit with my parents. You can sit with your boys can come too.
But
All
all right, Josh, what do you got?
Veterans Day.
I worry about my mother. She's been through a lot of stress recently because of people. A lot of stuff has happened.
For sure.
I just hope that she gets less stressed because that's.
Oh, for sure, man.
She's just been through a lot recently, and I just want her to just be able to relax and calm down.
Amen to that, buddy. That's a good one. Okay, what you got?
Again, what I was talking about earlier that I don't want to talk about on the pod, but there is a concern that I have that I'm a little I don't know if worried is the right word, but it's just something that I am I'm concerned about.
Yeah.
Nobody gets hurt while we play.
No injuries.
And
Thursday's
nobody
basketball.
gets in fights. Because it is North Whitfield.
You're probably
Back to the
gonna
pod.
destroy us.
Bro! I'm
So
sorry.
you say you had a 6-foot guy, right?
Oh my goodness.
5'10", 5'11".
Okay.
Caleb's 5'10". You can take that guy on.
Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. I don't know.
What?
There you go.
Came up.
What?
Cool.
What?
Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. It's Veterans Day this past Saturday. All the fun. This Wednesday. My kids today, my oldest son was really funny. He's like, Dad, what do you know about Abraham Lincoln? I was like, well, he's pretty cool. What do you know about him? He's like, he was 75 feet tall. I said, no, man, he wasn't. He goes, how do you know, Dad? I said, because I went to school for a long time, and I can guarantee you he was not, Abraham Lincoln was not
That's
75
something
feet tall. He goes, well, how tall was he? So, of
6'8".
course, he was 6'4". I was like, do you know where he hid, like, his famous speeches? He's like, in the church. I was like, nah, man. He's like, in his jacket.
Years ago.
Nope. In his backpack. I was like, that would have been a useful thing. It's like, no, he wore a big hat in his top hat and he put all of his papers in it. He's like, well, that's cool. I was like, do you know what number president he was? Like, yeah, Dad, 16. I was like, all right, man, 1 for 3. We rocking it now.
Oh,
He's like, then he got shot. And I was like, then I have to tell my 7-year-old, like, yeah, he did get shot. He's like, where did he get shot? And like, this is a gnarly conversation to have on the way home from school, man.
Hey, I can tell you where he got shot. He got shot.
Yeah, what happened to you? Anyways, so
Fun fact. Oh, go ahead.
No, you can.
Fun fact I found out while reading Tolkien's Unfinished Tale. They didn't capture this in the movies because of, it would be hard to do this cinematically. But Galadriel was around 8 feet tall.
can you stop the pod? Is that what you're asking?
How long have we been?
Use your words, man. 54 minutes.
Caleb was talking.
You're hilarious. It's like
Caleb was talking.
it's like doing an interpretive dance. It's like, when will the moon rise next? After this solstice. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Just how long has the pod been? About to be 55 minutes. All the fun. There you go. So, tall humans and
Safe
book characters.
travels for the Joshua with a basket thing.
The box?
Yeah, a box.
I'm walking home.
I know.
She's-
Safe travels to walk with that.
It's 100 feet.
Look.
Oh, wait.
what if
Way
there's a
more than
snake
100
out
feet.
there? What if?
If there's a snake out there because it's cold outside, then we got a real problem.
What if you trip on a little pebble what if the
We're not playing
door's
the what if
locked?
game.
I
We're
don't
not
live.
playing the what if game.
What
Nathan.
if the
What
door?
if a
don't-
snake jumps into that box and it's 150 pounds?
Yeah.
Nathan,
Then
we're
we
not
are in
playing
the
what if
wrong
What
area.
if? What if
Okay,
the
no.
whole world explodes when
game.
you
We're not
walk
playing
out
the
there?
what if game.
Everybody.
Hey, we're gonna pray. Nick's gonna pray. It's gonna be awesome. Nick just disappeared in his gray suit underneath a gray
It's a
beanbag.
bean.
Wow, Nick's a bean. All right, I'll pray and then we'll close out. It's gonna be super awesome. Hey, let's do it. Oh wow, Nick, there you are. Wow.
Hey,
Magic
looks like you can
man.
do it now.
All right, hey, God, we thank you so much for a great conversation tonight. Great podcast, great crew, great dudes. It's awesome. God, just be with every prayer request. God, we ask for rest where there has been stress and things have just been overwhelming and everything. God, we just ask for rest and peace. We ask for more good conversations. We ask for safety as we travel home, as we play sports. God, we ask for healing, for coughing and injuries and everything that way, God. And God, we ask that you just be in everything that we do. Our conversations, our actions, our thoughts, that you be present in everything, that we check in with you, that we run it through your filter before it comes out of our mouth, before we look at it, before we think it, before we act on it. God, we thank you that you created us to be in community with each other, and God, just help us to build great communities and relationships and conversations all around that. So God, we thank you and praise you for the God of our lives, and everyone's it.
Amen.
All right, so thanks for checking out this week's episode of Movement Monday. Remember to go like and subscribe to our channel. Be super awesome. All the fun there. Movement Monday. See you next time. Everyone say bye.